I'm child free, and my favorite quote is, fuck them kids.
And I'm such a complex person. I have a very good self-image and perception of myself. I am multifaceted, and I cannot be reduced to just being someone's mom.
So the first one is, I don't want my body to change at all. I've spent so much money on my Pilates and gym memberships, creams and all that stuff, Botox filler. Babe.
What you're about to see is the portrait of modern decadence. Women proudly saying, I don't want kids, I want luxury bags. I don't want a family, I want to travel. I don't want to build anything, I just want pleasure. Watch this and understand why a man who wants a family today needs to open his eyes before it's too late.
I'm child free, and my favorite quote is, fuck them kids. I'm child free, so that means I'm only responsible for me. I'm child free, and I can eat girl dinner any day of the week. I'm child free, and when someone asks me, do I have kids? I say, hell no. I'm child free, and I'm gonna quit that job because I don't have no mouths to feed. I'm child free. I don't think I'm selfish for putting my mental health first in this economy. I'm child free. I'm always down to go to brunch any day of the week. I'm child free, and when a circumstance come up, I'll be like, at least I don't got no kids. Thank you, God. I'm child free. I stay away from them baby daddies because they're contaminated in my eyes. I'm child free. Just because I don't want no kids don't mean I hate them. I'm child free. Yes, I will meet you in Miami by noon.
The first woman sums up the scenario well. I'm child-free and only responsible for myself. She thanks God for not having kids, as if children were a curse. What we see here is the mentality of instant pleasure and the rejection of any kind of sacrifice. The mindset of those who think maturity means not having to deal with anything beyond their own desires. There's no legacy, there's no building. There's only the me at the center of everything.
Get ready with me as I tell you some superficial reasons why I don't want children. So the first one is, I don't want my body to change at all. I've spent so much money on my Pilates and gym memberships, creams and all that stuff, Botox filler. Babe, I'll be damned. Another reason is I want to continue to go on my yearly Europe vacations with my partner. I don't want that to stop. Last year we went for 5 weeks. This year we're going for 2 weeks. I don't want to stop that. I want to continue buying Dior products for the rest of my life and not having to give that money to some child. I love luxury bags. I have a running list on my notes in my notes app that my fiance has access to, and of the bags I want. I don't want to be putting my money into a child's future college fund. No. My makeup and skincare costs are high because I love to try everything. I'm truly like a product whore. I love trying everything, and so I don't want some kid and be like, oh, let's get this toy. No, babe, no. Another reason is I don't want hospital bills, and I don't want to have to leave work to go to the hospital because my child, something happened to them. I don't care. I don't like noise. It's Patrick Taw, by the way. I don't like noise, and I don't like noise in my house. So I don't want children running around my house 24/7, especially when you come home and they're like, Mommy. God, that is literally a nightmare for me. I still wake up sometimes thinking I had a child, and I'm in utter panic, and it felt like the worst nightmare of my life. I don't want to have to ever coordinate with my partner of who's staying home with the kids if I have to go to the gym or he has to go to the gym. No. I don't want to feel resentment towards my partner at any point. I don't want to have to do that or feel like that. If he wants to go on a trip with his friends or me with mine, I don't want our relationship to change. Another reason is I don't want to have to do kid activities, look up community events in my area and figure out what to do to entertain kids. That sounds really boring. I'm sorry, as moms. I don't ever want to be considered a hot mom. I don't want to be ever considered a mom for anything. I'm not a mom. I just don't want the title. And for the last reason, the big one, I love a clean house. I don't like mess. I don't like any mess in my house. Let me know some of yours if you're child-free. I would love to hear them. Give me the most superficial ones.
The second woman says it loud and clear. She prefers to keep her body untouched, spend money on luxury bags, trips to Europe, and makeup products rather than investing in a child, a human being, a future. This exposes modern narcissism in a grotesque way. Motherhood, one of the greatest acts of love and responsibility, is discarded as if it were a burden, simply because it interferes with vanity and consumption. If you want to be part of this community, go ahead and leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow together.
I don't want kids. Those little fucking shits take all your money. You have to send it to school, and then you gotta worry about other kids being mean to your kids. I will really fight. You have to wake up whenever your kid wakes up. I like to wake up at noon, at 1 p.m. sometimes, 3 sometimes even. Judge me. You gotta cook for that little shit. I don't even want to cook for myself. I'm trying to travel. I'm trying to see the world. You could do both. You could have kids and travel. No! Like, I see people traveling with young kids and I'm just like, oh my God, I would get so overstimulated. I'm not a patient person. I have 2 nieces and I mean, that's good enough for me. I'm just trying to be the rich, cool auntie, you know? The main reason I don't want to have kids is because I have a huge heart. What's the word? Is it empath or empath? I'm that though. I was at Disney one time and there was this little cute boy in front of me in line for a ride with little glasses and I started tearing up because I just felt so bad because I just know kids are so mean. My heart cannot deal. My heart will just explode of hurt and worry and like just the world we live in, you know? Like, it's a sick world. Also, birth scares the absolute shit out of me. I can't.
The third woman says she is unable to wake up early, cook, or take care of anyone. She says she has no patience, that children take all the money. What is revealed here is the peak of immaturity. Someone who wants to live as an eternal teenager without commitment, without growth, without understanding that adult life involves sacrifices, and that those sacrifices give meaning to existence.
As a millennial woman of this generation, I can confirm that we just don't want to have kids. Do you see the world that we live in? Like, why would I want to introduce a kid here? It sounds like child abuse to me. This recent season of Love is Blind with Nick is a prime example of why we can't reproduce. The thought of raising a child and a man child doesn't seem appealing to me. The thing is, the eligible bachelors that are available, the quality is so low, the women are choosing to stay indoors. I think we've all evolved where we don't want a charity case. We don't want to fix you. Famous words of Martha Stewart, I don't care about your feelings. Some people are meant to be moms, some people are meant to live their best life. Honestly, if it was meant to be, it will be, and if I'm meant to be a mom, I will be a mom, and if I'm not meant to be, like, who cares? Let me live my best life. I'm not worried about it, you shouldn't be worried about it. So if you're a girl out here who's single and seeing all her friends getting married and having kids, like, it's okay. Because I'm telling you, there is a group of girlies just like myself. I'm 29 and I could care less. Having a family, having kids does not need to be the end all be all. Martha Stewart did say, if you want to be happy for a year, get a husband. If you want to be happy for a decade, get a dog. If you want to be happy for life, build a garden. More of the story is men ain't shit and you don't need to have a kid to be happy. Bye.
The fourth woman uses the cowardly and overused argument that she doesn't want to bring kids into this world. Curious? Our grandparents had children in times of war, poverty, diseases far worse than today. They understood that children are not a problem. This excuse only serves to mask the real reason. They don't want to give up comfort, parties, and hedonism.
I'm 29 and I am like very positive, almost 100% positive that I do not want children. And here's why I know that. When I think about the childbearing and childbirth process, I have this very unsettling, nauseating, sick feeling inside of me that is so overwhelming that I think, how could that not be a sign? Like, there are no feelings of like, oh, that could be nice. That doesn't ever cross my mind. In fact, the only thing about bearing children, having children to me that seems nice is the fact that I would make other people happy, like my mom, like my boyfriend's mom. And maybe when the child is 23, 24, 25, I would enjoy their company. I like the idea of like when I'm older having a family because I love my family dynamic. I have 2 sisters and my parents were still together and I love hanging out with all of them together. It is so much fun. So I like that idea, but obviously you can't just like hop straight into that. There's a lot that comes first. Then, of course, after you're done giving birth, the child is now earthside present in your life. And I just, as of right now, and in the next 2-3 years, I cannot see myself being in a stable position to be caring for another human. I had a nightmare about having a dog the other day. As in, like, I had to miss out on a social event because I agreed to stay home and take care of the dog. And in the end of the dream, I ended up being like, actually, this isn't worth it. I'm going out. And I just left the dog at home. So if that's not a huge sign that I am neither ready for a pet, let alone a child, so yeah. You also need money, like finances, to care for a child, and right now that's not in my budget. I think in the next 3 years, if I had excessive budget, if I had some room in the budget, we would be going to Europe multiple times. That's top my priority. That is at the top. And I'm just not willing to move my timeline to like make room for a child. Like, I want to travel. That's what I want to do. I don't want to be caring for a child at home. And also something huge, like me saying, oh, I don't feel like I want to change XYZ for a child. Like, oh, spoiler alert, you actually don't. No one has to have a kid, which is like kind of crazy because I feel like we are raised to, everything we're taught is like, okay, eventually you're gonna have a kid one day and you're gonna have a family and you're gonna raise it and that's how life is gonna go for you. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I feel like it takes a second to actually unlearn the fact that you don't need to be bearing children / raising a family. So I think the older I get, the more I actually realize, okay, like that's not a default. That's not like thing that I must do, like get a job. I have to get a job, unfortunately, because I need to make money, but having a child is not something that I have to do. That's a fun realization. And once I realize that, I feel like the pressure is off. I go to bed peacefully at night. Things feel generally lighter. So all of this being said, like, the biggest indicator for me is the gut feelings I get when I think about getting pregnant, having a child, giving birth, being pregnant. It scares the shiz out of me. No, thank you. So those are my reasons.
The fifth woman mixes insecurity with selfishness. She says that maybe in the future she will like the idea of having children, but not now because there's no room in the budget and she wants to travel. The typical short-term mentality where everything that requires planning, sacrifice, and effort is discarded. Modern women have been taught to postpone everything, but they forget that time doesn't wait and consequences arrive, often too late.
Since I can remember, I've never really wanted kids. Like, that's never been a goal of mine. It's never been a dream. I've never dreamed of being a mom. I really don't care for it. I have never liked kids that much. They're annoying. They're annoying. It's a lot. They cry, they whine. They just do a lot. They do the most. And you have to be nice to them and treat them with a certain level of care and respect, because they're still people at the end of the day, but they're annoying as shit. And they depend on adults. They depend on you for everything until they're a certain age. And even then, you're a parent for the rest of your life. And if I was to have children, I will be an active parent for the rest of my life. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to push a human out of my body or get cut open and have them take it out. I don't want to recover from that. I don't want to go through with the pregnancy. I don't want to go through the bodily changes, the mental changes, the physical. I don't want to go through any of this shit. I don't want to resent the man that I have a child with because he could never, ever, ever truly understand what the fuck I'm going through and what I'm sacrificing to have a child. You can literally die. People take pregnancy so lightly because it's, it's a common thing. Women get pregnant and have babies every day. That's how, we continue to be here. But it is a big deal. It's a big deal. It is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice. You are sacrificing yourself when you decide to have a child, and I don't care to do that. Life is hard enough as well. I have a hard enough time sometimes taking care of myself and being motivated to do things for my own self. I don't want to worry about another human being and be responsible for them for the rest of my life. I just don't. Anyway, I said all that to say, I really think I want to get my tubes tied, and I'm only 24, but I don't know. I think I might be at an okay age, but I've heard that if you haven't had a kid yet, a lot of doctors are very hesitant to go through with that procedure. And also, if you're a certain age, they don't want to do this. I'm like, oh, you might change your mind. No, I might not, though. I might not. And if I do, well, that's my fault. That's a decision I made and something I have to live with. Now I can't have kids, or I can adopt, or whatever the case may be. The fact that I might change my mind should have nothing to do with a procedure I'm asking for, especially when it's not affecting no fucking body but me.
Finally, the sixth woman openly shows her disdain for motherhood. She calls children annoying, says she doesn't want to sacrifice anything, and even considers getting her tubes tied at 24. This speech is not only childish, it is deeply selfish and reveals the emotional unpreparedness of this generation that wants the pleasures of adult life, sex, freedom, consumption, but runs away from its obligations, family, legacy, building something greater. Conclusion. This collection of statements exposes a harsh reality. Modernity has forged women so focused on themselves, so obsessed with pleasure, vanity, and consumption, that the most natural and powerful act of human existence, bringing and educating the next generation, has become, for them, an unbearable burden. No wonder birth rates are collapsing. The West is aging, and entire societies are slowly walking toward collapse. True freedom is not the escape from responsibility. It is having the courage to build, to sacrifice, to truly love. But that requires maturity, and maturity is in short supply.